welcome back to Beth's Kitchen. I know I've not been on in a while. We're back from vacation and it's hot and humid here. I'm ready to cook a pork shoulder, shred it up, and make some pork nachos. And I'm going to make my own barbecue sauce, so stick around. I am going to cook those separately and link them so that if you just want to cook the shoulder, it would be good by itself. But I'm going to turn it into nachos. And then I'll link the barbecue sauce, and then we will put our barbecue nachos on the grill, and I'll link that separately too. I hope you'll stick around, like and subscribe to Beth's Kitchen. Alright, let's make our pork shoulder. I've cut up about a 3.5 to 4 pound Boston butt or pork shoulder roast into small pieces. They don't have to be exactly uniform. That's going to help it to cook a little bit faster. I'm still going to cook it about 3 to 4 hours. We'll check it and see at the time on that. And I have made some rub ingredients. This is going to be some chicken broth to go in at the end. I've got a tablespoon and a half of garlic powder, a half of a cup, of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of sea salt. Gotta have a lot of salt for this. Some black pepper, that's just to your taste. And this is a teaspoon and a half of onion powder, a tablespoon and a half of smoked paprika, and a dash of cayenne. Again, you can always leave cayenne pepper out. We like a little bit of spice. And this is 2 teaspoons of cumin. So we're gonna mix all of that up, rub down our pieces, and brown them in a Dutch braising oven, and then put it in the oven. Be right back. I've got our pork shoulder cut up, and I put it in layers in this just a shallow pan. Put all of our rub ingredients here. I'm just gonna sprinkle this on the top generously. And for this first, I'm just going to massage it into the meat. Yes, I've washed my hands. Your best tool in your kitchen is your hands. Clean hands, of course. Clean hands. Just rub all of that in. And then I'll show you what we're going to do when we're done. I've gotten our little pieces and I've massaged that into that old guy till I think he is ready to go. So now I'm going to brown each piece in a single layer in a Dutch braising oven. And while we're waiting on our oil to heat up, I'll show you. I did want to mention, you might see that I didn't trim any fat from this pork because fat is flavor. You know, I just leave it and it'll all dissipate into the lovely gravy and sauce. And like I say, we're going to barbecue this tonight, or put barbecue sauce on it over nachos, but I'm doing this as a separate video because this is a great way just to cook pork, just to have with mashed potatoes and whatever else you want to have it with. It's just a good way to cook the pork and put it in pieces instead of in the whole roast for a change. I've got some oil that is shimmering here, and it's just about hot enough to go. I want to be cooking these on each side, just frying it in here until it gets good and brown on all sides, because again, that is flavor. I'm going to do all of these pork pieces, and that one is a little bit bigger. It's still fine. It'll be fine. It's I meant to cut that one in half and forgot about it. I can still do that after it browns. I'll be back. I'm going to do this in batches. So that's enough for this batch. You don't want to crowd it too much when you're browning meat or searing meat, because it will hug up together and steam each other. And you don't want that. You want to let air circulate in there and get that good crispy coating on there. So I'm going to get all of our pieces brown, take it up on a plate. We'll deglaze the pan. We'll stick all of this back in the oven for, like I say, 3 to 4 hours. It depends on how much roast, and just depends on your oven. We might even have to keep it in there for 5 hours. But we will check it after 3 and we'll adjust our time. See you in a minute. But most of the time when we're searing roast, I did want to come back and you can see how beautiful and brown that is. And this is not burned in the bottom, this fine. It's just good and brown right now. But when you have a rub that has brown sugar will burn, and it will burn easily. So that one's ready. As soon as they get brown, just replace it and put another one in. You don't have to do it on all sides if you can't get it to stay on all sides. You do whatever you can, just so you get a little bit of browning, because that is so flavorful, and it makes your roast so delicious to have that flavor in there. Just wanted to pop on and say that. I'm going to finish browning these, and we'll finish this up soon. Okay, all of my pork has been just browned on most all sides, and this is 2 cups of chicken broth. Let's throw that in. And that is going to deglaze the pan a little bit. I made my chicken broth with the Better Than bouillon, but you can use carton chicken broth. That part doesn't matter. I just have that on hand. I put it in a lot of things and let that boil until the bits come up from the bottom. And then we'll put our pork back inside of that good liquid. And we'll place it in the oven. And all of our bits have bubbled up. I'm just going to nestle all of this pork back down in our liquid. Oh, by the way, this big piece had the bone attached to it. That's fine. I just cut what I could away and just putting that bone in there. That's flavor too. And then when it gets done, you can just shred all that off the bone, and so it'll work fine. And these can stack on top of each other this time. We're not worried about keeping everything in one layer because you've already got them browned. It's all ready to do its thing. And also you're going to have all that wonderful juice left from where we took that up out of the browning pan. So that's, oops, and up a lid on that. That's going to go into a 250 degree oven. I'm going to check it at the 3-hour mark and see how we're doing. See you then. As I just pulled our pork out of the oven, and it is so tender. I hope you can see. It's brown on the top. There's lots of good liquid in the bottom. So like I say, this would be good to use for Sunday dinner. It would be great with baked beans, potato salad. And it's so tender. Look how that just comes right off and just it melts in your mouth. The rub, having the brown sugar, it did yield itself to more of a getting ready for the barbecue flavor, because that's what we're doing with ours tonight, is making barbecue nachos. But this would be perfect with anything. Like I said, baked beans, potato salad, and rolls. And you've got all that good gravy in the bottom. And that cooked for just about exactly 3 hours. I mean 3.5 hours on 325. I ran over just a little bit. And this is golden. It's so brown, and it's got all those crunchy bits on there. I hope you can see that. I hope you make this, and I will link the description to the barbecued nachos as well, because we're using the same pork for that. Please like and subscribe to Beth's Kitchen.